It's the biggest, most important festival of its kind in the world. And it always happens in vibrant, tropical Miami, Florida. Its many events attract attention and interest from countless people spread all over the globe. But whatever interest emanates through the eyes of the world, it's Americans who view it with the most intensity. Because at the heart of this festival is the National College Football Championship, the #1 football game of the year, in a classic contest of unbeaten. This rare battle of first and second-ranked teams for the national championship may not reoccur for decades. So it's only proper to surround it with the #1 halftime show of the year and all the pageantry anybody could ever want. Taken together, this all adds up to the 1988 Orange Bowl Festival. The days preceding the national telecast of the Orange Bowl Parade and the Football Classic are full of questions. How will Miami deal with the powerful wishbone attack of the undefeated University of Oklahoma? Can the Oklahoma defense stop the University of Miami's pro-passing offense? These questions will be answered later on the field of play. But what the days themselves reveal is that the Orange Bowl Festival is much more than a parade and a football game. Internationally, the Rolex Orange Bowl Tennis Championships are of tremendous interest. French, Spanish, and Russian are as likely to be heard here as English because it's the world's most prestigious amateur tournament. John McEnroe, Yvonne Lindell, Chris Evert, and Bjorn Borg are all former champions here. So a visit to this week-long event is a certain preview of tomorrow's champions. The Orange Bowl Coaches and Hall of Honor Luncheon serves a number of purposes. It honors some of those who have passed this way before, like Joe Romig, Mike Reed, Joe Paterno, and a surprised Barry Switzer. And it reminds coaches, players, and fans of the nearness of the challenge ahead of them. But it tries not to let them get too serious about it yet.
And this is the last time you'll see us smiling at one another.
Both the King Orange Jamboree Parade and the Orange Bowl Football Classic will be seen on prime-time national television, a mark of their importance to an awaiting nation. The festival is most important, however, to those who compose it, the leaders who organize it, the volunteers and professionals alike who carry it out, and the community itself, which identifies with the festival and cares about its quality and image.
2, 7, and up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Local high school bands practice all year long, then formally compete with one another for the honor of marching in the Orange Bowl Parade. The right to march and play in this parade is recognized as a badge of excellence.
I'm a harpsichord, I'm a clarinet, I'm the Philadelphia Orchestra.
The nationally televised parade has something for everyone, from celebrities to clowns to extravagant and imaginative floats and what seems like 100 unique bands. The parade has become a source of pride for the entire city.
Come on, baby, I've been soft socks, 'cause you sure look like you need a friend tonight.
The out-of-town bands from places like Indiana and Georgia and Maine and Canada have been selected by the Orange Bowl staff and have raised the funds to pay their way to Miami and the right to march before hundreds of thousands of cheering spectators. And and the rival university bands are here in full force, leading their fans through rousing fight songs, preparing them for tomorrow's battle, and paving the way for the last beautiful float, the Orange Ball Queen and her court. The National College Football Championship is the dream of every fan, every player, every coach. The two teams, with it still in their grasp, are not only in the position of winning it, but of taking it from the second most deserving team. Number 1 ranked Oklahoma kicks off to number 2 ranked Miami. Randall Hill receives near the goal, but cuts to the right for 30 yards in good field position. 2 plays later, Miami quarterback Steve Walsh finds tight end Alfredo Roberts for 9 yards and a first down. 2 more plays, and Walsh goes to the opposite side and Mike Irvin for 7 yards. The Oklahoma Sooners have been first in total defense, first in scoring defense, and first in passing defense this season. But they've not seen an attack like Miami. After finding Irvin for 13 more yards, Walsh makes a perfect connection with fullback Melvin Breton in the end zone to strike the first telling blow. Miami used 8 plays in the 65-yard drive to make it 7-0. Both teams' vaunted defenses dug in, true to form, and that score held up well into the second quarter when this interception and 20-yard return by Ricky Dixon gave the Sooners both field position and inspiration. Quarterback Charles Thompson keeps to his left in the dangerous wishbone attack, good for 5 yards. Gambling with 4th down and a yard to go, Thompson flips to halfback Anthony Stafford, who hurdles a wall of Miami defenders for 3 yards. Thompson attempts and completes a rare pass for 11 yards to Arthur Guest. Stafford takes it wide right to the Miami 16-yard line. Thompson shows Oklahoma determination by scrambling 7 yards to the 5. The closer to the goal, the tougher the yardage. But with 3rd and goal and 9 seconds left in the half, Stafford takes a pitch out wide right for Oklahoma's first touchdown. The Sooners, who had averaged 44 points a game, would go into the halftime locker room with only 7 points. But so would Miami.
I got my eye on a trip of imagination, configuration, a bright and melodious trip of sensation round this beautiful nation.
It's the only halftime show to ever have been nominated for an Emmy. It's the show that must top itself year after year, but logically can't. It does so anyway. And this year, the theme is bright lights and big town music.
Oh, yes. I mean, big D, little A, double L-A. Big D, little A, double L-A. Big D, little A, double L-A, yes. Hang on to Hollywood. That's Hurry Valley, hurry Hollywood. And if you think that you can be an actor, be Maxie Factor. He made the monkey look good.
When I come home to you, San Francisco, your golden sun will shine for me.
You had the time of your life. I saw a man who danced with his wife in that windy city.
It only takes 10 minutes and 34 seconds to perform, but it takes a long, hard year to prepare for it. It's an unusual blend of amateurs and professionals, old songs and new, experience and raw talent. But it keeps 75,000 people glued to their seats and millions glued to their TV sets as Broadway and television stars Leroy Reams and Leslie Uggams work their magic, supported by 1,100 local high school kids. The second half sees Miami go heavily to its air attack. They believe Oklahoma can't stop it. Walsh finds Bratton for 6 yards. Then, chased out of the pocket, he connects with Brian Blades for 14 more. Still under heavy pressure, he finds the ever-present Bratton for 12 more yards. But that will be it for this drive. The field goal team is called upon for a 56-yarder, and Greg Cox delivers for an Orange Bowl record. After stopping Oklahoma cold, the Hurricanes send Warren Williams to the left for 7 yards and a first down. Then it's Bratton over the middle for 21 more. And finally, with 2:37 to go in the third quarter, Walsh locates Michael Irvin just inside the end zone. It's perfect for Miami. They're not only 10 points ahead, but this puts the mighty Sooners in the unaccustomed position of playing catch-up football. Forced to pass more often than they like, Oklahoma is out of their element, and Miami tees off on Thompson. As for their part, Miami is content to stay on the ground and use up time. Great defense gave them the field position for this 48-yard field goal with less than 4 minutes remaining in the game. With the score 20-7, Miami appears to have a lock on the game. Desperate now, Oklahoma passes on every down, and Thompson completes this 4th and 10 pass to Collins to stay alive. Then he finds All-American tight end Keith Jackson over the middle for 8 more as Miami's defense tightens up. Then on 3rd and 2, halfback Patrick Collins hits Jackson for 20 yards to the Miami 29-yard line. On a tackle-eligible Fumblerooski play, the Sooners draw Miami's defense to their right, while guard Mark Hudson picks up the intentional drop and lumbers unmolested into the end zone. The score is 20-14, and Oklahoma is back in the game. With over 2 minutes remaining, they have a real chance of winning. It comes on their own 23-yard line with 56 seconds on the clock. But the pass is incomplete, and the play is nullified by a penalty. Now on their own 18, Thompson scrambles desperately, but in vain, as his gains are countered by a clipping penalty. All seems lost for the Sooners. Miami's defense strikes the fatal blow. Smashed on 2 sides, Thompson fumbles the ball, and Bernard Clark recovers for Miami, clinching the MVP trophy and the game. No miracle can pull it out now. Oklahoma has failed to score, and Miami is the new national champion. Coach Jimmy Johnson and his Hurricanes finally entered the door they had been knocking on for 2 years and found ecstasy. Barry Switzer will have to wait for his 4th national title, but he's probably one of the few men in the country who know what Jimmy Johnson is experiencing at this moment. Every Hurricane player had performed to the best of his ability, and every facet of the Miami game was near perfection. They've given their fans and themselves something that time nor man can ever take away from them. And they've given back to the community that for which the Orange Bowl trophy is a symbol. And this is truly important to all of us.